Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Friday, November 12, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Brooklyn Nets vs New Orleans Pelicans. The Brooklyn Nets are a good defensive team this season as they are giving up 103.4 points per game, which is 8th in the NBA. In their last game against the Orlando Magic, they allowed 90 points on 35 of 92, 38% from the field, 4 of 33, 12.1% from deep, and 24 free throw attempts. If the Nets can continue to defend the three-point shot as well as they have been, it will be a huge plus for this potent team. Our first betting advice is to pick Brooklyn. The Pelicans have simply not been able to overcome their injury situation. Star forward Zion Williamson has been out all season with a foot injury. His team might be out of the playoff hunt by the time he returns. Small forward Brandon Ingram has only played in 5 games due to a hip injury. He is listed as a game-time decision for this contest. Outside of Ingram's 25.0 points per game, center Jonas Valanciunas is the leading scorer with 20.0 points per game. He is averaging a double-double, pulling down 14.0 rebounds. Point guard Devonte Graham is adding 15.9 points and a team-high 5.5 assists per game. Our second betting advice is to pick over. Sacramento Kings vs Oklahoma City Thunder. Sacramento last played against the San Antonio Spurs, dropping a high-scoring affair 136-117. In the game, De'Aaron Fox went off for 37 points in 35 minutes of action. Rookie guard Davion Mitchell contributed 13 points and 6 assists off the bench. Although the Kings had no problem scoring the ball, they allowed the Spurs to shoot 56% behind the arc. Most recently, the Thunder defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 108-100. In the contest, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander filled the stat sheet with 24.7 rebounds and 5 assists. Oklahoma City also got a surprise performance from Luguentz Dort, who put up 27 points in 34 minutes of action. Our first betting advice is to pick Thunder plus 4.5. The Thunder have been a good bet against the spread at 6-4 and have covered in 6 of their last 7 games overall, while pulling off upsets against teams like the Spurs and Los Angeles Lakers. Overs are just 2-8 for the Thunder, with each of their last 5 games going under the betting total. It's been a huge struggle to score for the Thunder, who are averaging 99.1 points per game to rank second worst in the NBA, on shooting splits of 49% from 2 and 30% from 3. The defense has been solid for the Thunder, who are allowing 106.7 points per game, with opponents shooting 50.3% from 2 and 34.4% from beyond the arc. Our second betting advice is to pick over 218. Quick reminder, BetUS is a platform that offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, BetUS allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join BetUS now using our link down below and get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on the sportsbook after you open an account and deposit using our link and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES. Phoenix Suns vs Memphis Grizzlies. Well, Memphis will try to scheme ways to get the ball out of Chris Paul's crafty hands and limit Devin Booker to contested jumpers. Michael Bridges will reap the benefits by using his aggressiveness off the ball and creating opportunities for himself on the offensive glass. The Suns will come in with the #1 team in the league in terms of shooting percentage. If the Grizz want to stay in the game and are not making wholesale changes to their defense, then they will need to take advantage of a Suns team that does not defend all that well either. And as much as Bridges plays a quite important role for the Suns, you could argue that Desmond Bane plays an even larger role for his Memphis Grizzlies. The second-year guard from TCU has upped his scoring average by over 5 ppg this season and has given the Grizz a true third scoring option behind Ja Morant and Dillon Brooks. If Bane can have a game to overshadow Bridges, the Grizz may be able to sneak one out at home here. Our first betting advice is to pick Phoenix plus 1.5. Meanwhile, the Memphis Grizzlies have been in decent shape as they've won 3 of their past 5 games, but they will be eager to bounce back here after falling short against the slumping Hornets in a 118-108 road loss on Wednesday. Ja Morant led the team with 32 points, 7 rebounds and 8 assists. Dillon Brooks added 20 points and 6 assists off the bench, while Jaren Jackson Jr. chipped in with 19 points. As a team, the Grizzlies shot just 42% from the field and 9 of 38 from the three-point line as they held the Hornets to just 21 points in the third quarter to get to within 3 points before the Hornets exploded for 37 points in the fourth quarter to run away with it in the end. Our second betting advice is to pick over. Dallas Mavericks vs San Antonio Spurs. Dallas is averaging 102.8 points per game. They scored 107 points in their last game, making 45.8% of their field goals and 36.4% of their three-pointers. Kristaps Porzingis led the way for Dallas with 22 points and 12 rebounds. Tim Hardaway Jr. finished with 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, while Luka Doncic added 20 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals for the Mavericks. Dallas has played well defensively, giving up 105.8 points per game. They gave up 117 points in their last game and will need to do a better job if they want to get the win. Our first betting advice is to pick San Antonio Spurs, plus 2.5. San Antonio bounced back from an ugly loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday, but they still gave up 117 points of total offense to the Sacramento Kings. The Spurs are racking up more buckets at the AT&T Center, but they're also giving up a lot of buckets as well. Opposing teams are averaging 47.1% shooting when visiting San Antonio. That stat line alone is a hopeful sight for a Mavs team that hasn't shot the ball well regardless of venue. But there's also the fact that all bets are off when you have a team stepping onto the floor with a dominant player like Luka Doncic in their lineup. Along with a boost in perimeter defense, the Mavs need to do a better job of getting buckets on the road. The team is only averaging 96.2 points per game when playing away from their home building. It would help if Kristaps Porzingis and others around the star forward can continue to step up and contribute on the offensive end of the floor. Friday could be their lucky night with the Spurs allowing an average 113.8 points per game at home. So the opportunity for a breakout performance will be there. Our second betting advice is to pick under 218.